Perfect. Hello, YouTube. Let me double check if I see myself. Yes, I do. So, hooray. I changed my setup a little bit. I hope this will be... just give me a second. I want to share my stream to my Discord channel, so if people wanted to join, they could do that, and then we can start. Today we're gonna be looking into YouTube analytics, so we'll be trying to pull the data out of it. Today we will be pulling data out of Google Analytics. Sent, done. That's it. The mouse is moving. Okay, so what do we know? Or actually what I want to try to do, right? So I do have my YouTube channel. I mean, you are visiting it now, right? And I actually would like to look at YouTube Studios. I actually would like to look into the sort of like, you know, like the analytics of these pages. Like, it was always interesting to sort of like look into, but yeah. Oh, by the way, do you know how much I earn? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so all the Google services has, all the Google services has their APIs, so we can go into, you know, like, so this is one of the things, right? And you can, you know, like, you can go to the Google Analytics, you can go to the Google Search Console, like Webmaster Tools back in the day was called, or, you know, like the Google AdWords or AdSense, and pull all of that information out of it. Now, the interesting thing about that is that it sort of like follows the same thing with the APIs. You have this, you know, like documentation available to you, and you can just pull the data. Now, Google also has the product called BigQuery. We all know about it, right? It's well, if you don't, BigQuery, just think of it as a massive table, right? So I think the BigQuery is very long time ago. So Google came up with this paper back in the day, like sort of like a big database, I believe, on which the BigQuery was built upon. And then eventually this paper was implemented in the open source community, and you might know it as Hadoop, right? Now, yes, so there is a couple of ways how we can pull data out. So one of the first way of how we can pull the data out is we can use the Google reporting API, where you sort of like will be pulling, you know, like you're doing the API calls and you're pulling data out of it. This can work, but what I want actually to try, which for me personally, I found much more value in it. It's just we need to figure out like how this actually, you know, like looks like, is to actually connect to your YouTube channel with BigQuery. And there is this thing where you actually can transfer the data directly from YouTube channel to BigQuery. And that's what I want to look into. So now if we look into that, yeah, if you have any questions about anything what I do, feel free to ask. As I mentioned in the beginning, this will be most likely a very boring stream. I will be going through a lot of documentation, and it's kind of like we'll try to figure out how to do that. On the other hand, this is basically how does the data engineers work sometimes look like, right? Like sometimes you just go to database, you pull your data, and it's done. But sometimes you need to pull the data from the APIs, and to pulling data for APIs, you need to sort of like make sure that, you know, like the APIs, well, this is what we'll be doing, right? We'll be hitting some sort of API to figure out how to do these things. If we are lucky, I hope the data export to BigQuery will be automatic for us by Google. So we only will be looking into the process of how we could run the ETLs inside the BigQuery to pull the data which we care about. If that will not be the case, then we'll fall back to a default implementation of the YouTube API to pull the data out of that. I'm not expecting to complete it today, but yeah, we'll see. If you have an idea about how I could call this, I don't know, like series, let me know. I would be more than happy to use that. Okay, so this is what we start, right? So we go into, let me a little bit. Okay, so this doesn't help me. Yes. Yes. YouTube and analytics data export to BigQuery. Right, so channel transfer channel, BigQuery transfer service, YouTube connector lets you automatically schedule and manage recurring load jobs, YouTube channel reports. Yeah, so maybe this is it, right? So we can also check this one. Okay. Yeah, we know what is the BigQuery and nothing in here. Let's go here. So BigQuery data transfer service for your YouTube connector lets you automatically schedule and manage recurring load of jobs. Channel reports. So channel reports is supported, automatically loaded into BigQuery. BigQuery data transfer for YouTube channels reports. So it runs approximately at 2 p.m. UTC. So it will be like morning for the US time zone. Refresh last 1 day. And the refresh window is not configured, and maximum backfill 30 days. So we can backfill for 30 days. So the sooner we do, the sooner we'll be getting the data. So, okay. Limitations, the maximum support file size for each report is the minimum frequency. You can schedule the data transfer once every 24 hours. Okay, so before you verify you have complete all actions required, enable BigQuery data transfer service. Okay, let's go with this. So this will require, yes, so sorry, I was jumping back and forth. So, okay, so go to project selector, enable BigQuery API, right. So I guess we go new project, we go ice breaker engineer. Let's create. Okay, so we do have it. So the next thing which we need in the project, enable billing. You build for free, 0 for free transfers. Only requires once per project. Okay, so we'll need to do this one. BigQuery exists, enable BigQuery API. Okay, so this is the Google Cloud Console, right? Inside this Google Cloud Console, now this is where you do all the things. So now if I go into BigQuery, I should find things like, okay, this is okay, so where do we upgrade? Hi, some guy. Hope you're doing great today. I'm doing fine. Today the plan is to pull the data from the YouTube channel and inject that directly into BigQuery and see what we're having in there and then do something with that. How are you yourself? So this is the data transfer. So this is where I think, yeah, so BigQuery transfer service has not been using before disabled, enabled visiting the okay, so let's try doing this. So enable the API and services. So we want to enable this, or maybe we don't, I don't know yet. Oops, let's get back in here. Yeah, I agree with you. It should be interesting. I hope that will work out. Oh. Okay, so what else we want to do? We want to, so based on the documentation, we need to enable the BigQuery API. So the BigQuery API is here. So we can, so the API is enabled, but we need to create the credentials first. Okay, so BigQuery API. What data will be processing? User data, application data, data belonging to the Google user like email address. I don't know. Data belonging to your own application such as your, I think it's this one. Okay. Service name, YouTube. Just go YouTube exporter. Okay, create and continue. Now it will need to have a role. So I think we will want to give it a BigQuery access, most likely. BigQuery. So I will just go simple. I will give a BigQuery admin. And also, do you have, yeah, shoot. Run away, ouch. Okay, so enable the API and services. Let's figure out this part. Yeah, so this is the credentials, which is started to creating. So the service accounts is here. We want to add the permissions, so okay, so who can grant an access? What we want to do, we want actually to add this is not what I so service account, create a service account, getting in here, grant the user access. This is where it was disappearing for me. So if I go in here, permissions, keys, yeah. But that's the thing I was saying, like this is very often what as a data engineer you do. You just need to go through all of these things to figure out what the hell is happening and how these things working, to be able to get to the fun stuff. So it's always, yeah, so I'm creating the JSON key. So this is will be, okay, so now I need to store this. So let's go to the projects. Let's get to the YouTube analytics. Let's create a folder inside dev, right? And this is where we'll put our JSON. Now let's get to our, yeah, let's start projects, YouTube analytics. Yes, let's trust the project. Let's bring the project to the right screen. Okay, so we do have a dev. So let's first say, okay, everything in the IDE needs to be ignored, and also everything in the dev needs to be ignored. We don't want to commit our JSON into GitHub. Additional thing which we want to do, we want to create environment. So Python 3.12 minus m vnv.vnv. We're creating the virtual environment. Environment created. I don't know if we will need that. And now let's just Let's make it. So I'm missing my shortcuts. Here you go. Should be better now. Okay, let's. Okay, that's the configuration. Okay, so what's next? So next we have this is done. So we have a key. So in theory, we should be able to access the service. The only thing which we need is, so service account. No, we don't need this part. Grant access. No, not here. So this is by the principal. You access is this is. Okay. Okay. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the service accounts, not EMI, service accounts, this. I don't want to manage access. I want to add, not to add principal. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to add more access to it. Is it manage permissions? Manage permissions, that's the thing, right? Resources the service can access. Yes, this is the resource, but how do I add more resources to it? I mean, I was in that window when I was creating it. I was able to add the resources, but grant access. Grant privilege to this resource and add roles. Specify what the actions can take. No, this is just roles. This is not it. So what I'm searching for is this part. So when you are in this window, when you're creating, you know, the account, let's say like test, you know, like go to next one, then you're selecting the access to it. And then you can say, you know, like BigQuery. And you can see it's a BigQuery admin. But okay, so this is kind of like, okay, let's get back into here. So this is here, so grant access. So is this just like BigQuery? That's the thing, like I don't really... Okay, so it looks like, okay, so we can make it like this. Okay, so does it mean that we already selected it here? And then YouTube or reporting. Okay, so BigQuery admin. Okay, so I think we added it's just like creating roles here. Oh, the things have changed so much. Right, because this is an account. This is service accounts. So I do have a service account. Manage keys, view metrics, manage permissions. This is the access, but grant access. Any project ideas? Ugh. By the way, hi Satyam Kumar. Depends what you want to learn. Do you want to learn Python? Do you want to learn, you know, like moving data? Do you want to learn some other things? So it's depends. So if you give me a little bit more, because there is so much to learn, it depends what level you are. So if just for the beginner, I would say practice your SQL. That will give you the most benefit with the shortest you know, like investment time. Or build a Facebook, but I think building a Facebook requires a little bit more skills. This is already a bad idea, but I still want to do that. Okay, what's next? Let's say we pass this part, we have this, we passed, you know, like enabling BigQuery API, enabling BigQuery data transfer. So let's go into this. Select the project is selected, this is enabled. Now we can do, okay, okay, so now we just here, oh, that's cool. So we have the YouTube content owner reports. And then channel reports. So what's the difference between two? Okay, so if I go manage, doesn't give me anything. Okay, let's get back. This is enabled. This is the pricing. Okay, that's good. So okay. Oh, it's right here. Stupid me. By the way, additionally, you can, you know, also like transfer the Google Analytics data as well. Try this API. No, I don't want to try it. All right, so let's get back us to this page a little bit. Just go for the fast configuration of the account. Okay, let's go. Oh, I need to, I'm just going through the okay, so that's great. So I managed to go into Google and get 300 credits to use until the expire of the December. So we have $300 for free. And we have time until December to build this project. So if someone wants beers, I mean, I guess I can buy, right? It's, I mean, where I could get this money back, that would be interesting. Okay, and then activate full account, that would be a different thing. So let's not go there. Let's get back here. So the transfer data. This one is available. We have this. This is the pricing. Page NP library from select the appropriate project and enable data transfer API. So we already have that enabled, right? We do have the API enabled. Okay, so what's next? So service agent So service account. So this is what I did. I created a service account. I gave the BigQuery admin access to it. So we did this part, I believe. That's it. And I mean, how do I start it? Oh, BigQuery. So recommend grant to BigQuery admin the MI role. Needed to perform most common task. Role includes some BigQuery transfer service permissions. Is too broad. I of course like specify like a shorter thing. Okay, so if this is enabled, and now we're going into, let's say, this part. Okay, let's go into some of our services. So for example, into BigQuery, do we have anything in here what would indicate? And that's the okay, that's the queries data transfers. Here you go. It apparently is here. By the way, let me just make sure we have. So we can create a look. We getting there, right? Just like clicking the buttons, and that's the data. Oh, sorry. Here you are. I looking into the chat. My chat is over there. So here you go. It's easy. Like this is what the data engineers do. Just clicks the button on the screen and then things somehow work. So I think we're getting there. We should be starting the transfer project in a minute. Okay, so let's create a transfer. Ooh, that's cool. You can select the S3. Facebook ads. Oh, that's cool. Redshift, Teradata, Salesforce, YouTube channel. That's what I want to do. Display name is Icebreaker Engineer. Okay, so the frequency is 24 hours. Start now. Sounds good. Create new data set. Okay, so letters, numbers, and underscore. So we just go YouTube, I guess. And we want to specify region. So US East. Let's go with this one. Let's do not enable table expiration, but you pay for the size of the storage. So eventually you need to enable the table expiration because that will be very expensive for the time. But we have $300. We should be fine. Okay. I don't care about anything of that. So data set is created. So we do have, now getting back to this part, we do have data set available to us, table suffix. So let's call it YouTube channel, right? Configure the job, email notification, pop sub notification. No, we don't need any of that. Do you work with this every day? With Google, no. Mainly, so my main today tasks these days is talking with people. That's what I usually do. I just talk a lot and then help teams to sort of like unblocking the team, you know, like speaking with this person, speaking with that person, giving this advice, telling this way, founding a sort of like, well, we cannot do this way, so then we should, you know, like lean towards that way and doing this way. So nothing like that. So many years ago, so not really many years ago, how much, like 8-9 years ago, I was working in the SEO team and we were using a lot of Google. So I am familiar with this console, but the transfers wasn't really a thing then. And we did everything manually via the APIs and stuff like that. And then they introduced the data transfer from Google Analytics into the BigQuery. I remember I set up that, and then I left the team and then started doing other things. So that's basically it. This was all, haven't done anything more with the Google from that point. However, from that point, I heavily shifted into the AWS and was working with all the AWS services. So, like the RDS, like Redshift, S3, just name it. Majority of them related around the data where I was spending all my time in. But I mean, maybe. So I don't know. I hope that answered the question. Okay, make sure all fields are correct. So only can include. So let's go YouTube. Underscore. Can I do underscore? Channel. I could. Okay, perfect. Job IDs. Okay, so the table suffix, this should be unique for all transfer configs loads into the same data set, the table name of the format job and then suffix. So the suffix will be, yeah, I think it's fine. Let's save this one. They ask me to, okay, so they now ask me to create, basically say like, hey, give me access to your YouTube stuff. I mean, sure, go grab it. And that's it. So this is pending, the transfer pending automatically schedule. So the transfer is ready. So what does it mean? It means that the data should start flowing into right here. So if I go into the BigQuery Studio, right? And I would say like, okay, so let's expand on the, yeah, this is my data, right? So this is my, well, actually this is my data set. And for now, this data set is completely empty. There is no data in it in any way. So we need to wait for the data transfer to complete. Okay, it's failed. Did it fail? Did it fail? Let's check. Okay, so no reporting found. Okay, that's an interesting problem. Let's disable this. So no reporting found. What does it mean? It means that I need to build a report. Okay. And I thought we already done YouTube reporting API. Okay, so YouTube reporting and analytics. Okay, dismiss for the time being. Okay, learn what analytics can do. And sort of like you can do the channel sample request and code snippets, right? Let's check for the code snippet. So, and let's look for the code snippet of the following. So this is credential files. This is sort of like what we need to do. We kind of have this created for ourselves. So we need to actually add the YouTube stuff into it as well. Then it has the, accordingly, the scope to read the data out. And then you just, so this is the reporting job, and it basically would be just as executing the job, I guess. But how do I create a report? So create a reporting job. So creating reporting jobs means that the job which you created, so you could pull the results for the report. I want to create a report itself. Okay, so how do you create report itself? Define reporting groups, sample request. Is it here? Okay, so model data overview. Okay, so YouTube Analytics API data model has dimensions and metrics, yes. So choosing reporting parameters, so you have reporting query, you have start date and then date when you report using. metrics, views, and likes. Okay, then you have a bunch of dimensions for that. There is a filters you can apply. Usually you want to get everything home and then use, you know, like these things additionally. Okay, so this is a list of the dimensions they provide. This is the list of the metrics. Okay, so if I go to the API and I would say YouTube analytics, select method, list, group ID string, but that's something else. Okay, maybe YouTube data. Okay, so there is a channel list, live stream, search, subscription. Okay, get this videos list. So part, I don't know what the part is. So call this message on live data and see the results. Experiment filterization. And then if I go execute, it will need to say like, hey, validate yourself. That's great. Allow all of that. So we're getting an error telling no filters. Can I make it somehow bigger? Okay, so no filter selected. My rating is ID or chart. Oh. So just to make things easy, not easier. So usually it takes days to go through all of those, kind of like to figure out like what you want to do. It sometimes feels, you know, you're almost close, but then sometimes you're not. Provide statistics of, so okay, so channel reports. So this is what I want. I want a channel report with the provide statistics of all user activity related to the channel videos. Yes. Playlist reports. Okay, so this is sort of like statistics of specified related videos that occur in the text on the playlist. Okay, I want this one. So video reports are the basic stats, which has no dimension. So basic stats. This report provides statistics related to users' actions on channel. So you can go, you don't have any dimensions, but you get all of that information. So sort of like you can get things like, you know, like how many views the video but this is this by let's get back a little bit. So this is video reports. Oh, and you selecting a video and then for the video. So, okay, so you need to have a video ID. So for the video ID, you then getting, yeah, the idea of the YouTube video. And then by the video, you can get the information out of it. So if I would go to, let's say, my YouTube channel, right? And let's say I would go to YouTube Studios. And let's just grab, say, this video. I assuming this is ID, right? Now, if this is the ID, I could get back into. Actually, I want to. Is there a way for me to? So video reporting in the channel. So API. Nope. YouTube analytics. YouTube reporting. Try this one. Select method. So this is creating a jobs. I do not want that. This is analytics. So if I go this one, what do we get? Reports query, currency dimensions. I don't know what that is. So now the last one, data. Do I have here something? So I'm looking for the video. Yes, videos, because this is video report. So let's say video list. It wants part. I don't know what the part is. Is it ID? And then if I execute, will that be fine? Nope, not fine. Okay, so what's the, okay, so this is analytic, okay. YouTube, analytics, try this. Select method, groups, channel report, reports, groups, list. I guess let's start from here. Yeah, it doesn't. I just want to have a sample request, I guess. Okay, so if I go with the ID here and I execute this one, would that work then? Wow. Oh, look. I got an answer. That's a success. I don't know what type of answer I got. I don't know what. Yeah. I'm frustrated. Okay, so we have a sample request, basic stats. Can I just get... Just a list of groups that matches API request. For example, you can retrieve all groups that authenticated user owns, or you can retrieve one or more group IDs via... I don't want to... Oh, so this is what I want. I want to have the report queries. So from this, when I was in the API, and then this is sort of like, okay. So this is how you basically go like, oh, this is stupid, it doesn't work, it's nonsense. And you're like, oh, it's just like, you just go up and down, up and down, up and down. You do a lot of breaks, you drink a lot of coffee. Okay, so playlist, videos, basic stats, most watch, basic video stats. And this is already pulled me. You see the request parameter. So start date. Actually, we don't need to go this far away. So 2024 09. Yeah, and then let's execute. Let's give it an access. More access. And now we're getting an error telling the start date. At least something is working. So the start date must be before or on the same date. So oh, this is okay. So end date is 2024 09 12. And then let's execute. Look, we're getting the tables. Yay! We got data. So we got something. That's great. So we got views. So this is the metrics. So this is the list of the metrics: views, comments, likes, dislikes, estimate minute watch, average view duration, right? All of that information. And this is what we have as well. So this is sort of like the definition of all the metrics provided in here. That's really cool. Okay, and this is nice. Look, that's my Python code. Isn't that awesome? Like, just makes things so much easier, right? And just like we can figure out what that's okay. So let's figure out what we actually want to do, right? So what we actually want to do is the following. To do MD. So first, we want to pull a list of YouTube videos. So we want to basically get all the YouTube videos, right? Now the second, we want to pull stats for each YouTube video. That's basically the idea. So this is what we want to do, right? So the first, so we kind of like found this one where you could pull the basic stats, but for this to work, we need to pass a request, right? Like we need to pass a request for it to happen. Oh, sorry, we need to pass, not a request, we need to pass a YouTube video ID, right? We need to pass ID to be able to get. So this requires YouTube ID. Now for us, so we need to first do this one. So we need to get this to figure out how we should do that so we could actually pull the YouTube videos out of it. So this is great. I will just copy this for the time being. So let's go here, just put a simple Python file. We go basic stats. And we just have this one. I will look into what this requires later. That's not the idea. We're just for now collecting the information. Okay, so the next thing is that, okay, you know what? Chat, beta chat. Okay. No, not okay. It's kind of like, I don't know. I need to read more about that before going into anything. So, okay, so let's get back into, so basic stats, social demographics, traffic sources, all a bunch of those stuff. And like, if you look, like for example, like the traffic sources, like the views by the traffic source and country, and then the metrics. But the thing is just like, it's sort of like, the list below shows the common use cases, full screen API, explore. Okay, so the request is start and date, IDs. So the ID is the channel ID, the channel my, content owner or content owner name, metric start dates. If you add video into dimensions. Okay, so here I can actually specify dimensions when I'm pulling the data, right? So, okay, so let's get back in here. So let's expand this one. So IDs channel mine include historical channel data. No, max results, we don't care. Metrics and standard callback. No, we don't need any of this. This doesn't have what I'm looking for. Why I cannot see? Okay, so basic playlist stats. Oh, so the playlists do have a dimensions available to it. Look, I was wrong. That's the same. So the basic stat also has the dimensions in here. Okay, maybe this will be for us. So okay, so this is basic stats of, okay, so sorry me jumping this back and forth. As I mentioned, like this is sort of like I think as I go. I know what I want to do. I want to have the Google Analytics data, YouTube's analytics data available to me, right? Like right now I can go here and do the analysis and that's all great, but I want to sort of like look around the things all together. So if I go to the channel in here and, for example, look into the analytics, right, I do see like sort of like how many views this, like YouTube has, like this sort of like a base stat. So this is actually coming from, as I understand, from this base stats, and this is all of these things in here, right? So you can sort of like get information, and you can specify a dimension as a video ID, and then you would get sort of like, this information in there. Now, if we're looking at, right, at time-based, and we're telling the daily watched, right, and now have a dimension of the day, I actually would like to see, so daily watch videos. This example retrieves a daily view count, watch time metrics, counts for the channel's videos, one row data, right? So this kind of should match something when you're going inside this one and you're seeing this metrics in here, right? So this is something, so this is like a different thing. So I personally more interested in this type of data than in this, but of course, then in just sort of like having the statistics, because what you want to do, you want to actually understand where the users is coming from and what they're doing and what is their pattern, so you kind of have a better understanding of the things. Okay, so how gonna we do it? And we'll be doing that using these reports, so we just need to get familiarized with them and figure out how they're actually working and have some examples. So this is API documentation. This is just talking about how to use it. This is not what we're looking for. So let's have into this one. So let's search for dimensions. Right, so dimensions here. So comma separated list of the YouTube analytics, the video, age group, gender, channel reports, content owner reports, list of, okay, so channel reports. Okay, so this is when you are authenticating, and this is when you're giving the channel ID, and then you have a channel list as well. Okay, so the idea here is that, let's say you have your Python code, and I mean, I only have a single channel, right? So that's totally makes sense for me to just basically go with this approach. But what you want to do here, like if you are actually working on something, like if you are, I don't know, like the video studio, I guess, and you have sort of like a multiple channels, or if you like some sort of like a creation house where you have multiple channels or multiple author, like creators, what you want to do, you want to actually go this approach where you would like would run the same code for the different channel IDs, and then you would sort of like would deal with that. This will be so interesting, man. And we'll get there. That will be really, really great. And then use like creator content type, YouTube product, day, month, and then additional information over there. Right, so basic stats, no dimensions, basic user activity in the US, no, time-based, dimension, use exactly one day or month. So it's like a daily or a monthly. Okay, yes, that makes sense. Let's get back to what you were saying. So core dimension, when you use this dimension, the data is reported aggregated on a daily basis. Each row contains data for 1 day. Yes, I expect that. A month, data is reported as aggregated by the calendar months, right? So it's if you have like a massive data set, then you would be looking at a month instead of the daily reports. What is content creator type? Okay, that's nice to know. So there is live stream, short story, video on demand, on unspecified. Cool. Okay, so what? So now this is all the metrics, time-based, and then the filters is the video, but that's the, okay, so this doesn't really have, okay. So for this, you want to have video ID. Okay, that's good to know. Now for this one as well, so you have a time-based, user activity by the country, specified time periods, user activity in US state, specified time periods. Oh, so for the US, you have something different compared to like a global one. That's interesting. Country, continent, subcontinent. So this is sort of like a, oh, nice. User geography. Okay, again, for the video, and that's again for the supports provide user activity by city. I'm just reading about, I'm just reading, sorry, I'm always looking there. I will try to look here. I'm reading this documentation and it's just like city, province. Like Google knows so much about its user. Sometimes it's scary, but just sometimes. User activity by DMA, report provide user activity by designated market area. I'm curious to know what is my designated market area. So parameters, value, country, US. Okay, and then playback details. Oh, sorry. In which YouTube product did the view occur? Creator, subscription, day, and then again filter is the video. Okay. User activity, playback details. Okay. Playback details. Province. Playback location, traffic source. Just give me finally the video as a dimension. Here you go. Top videos by state. But top videos with the optional region. Really? Ah, bastards. Fuck. So Google is Google. So remember how I say like, hey, now what we need to do, we just need to, oh, that's the wrong font. Now what we need to do, we just need to figure out how to get the list of the YouTube videos, because if we have a list of the YouTube videos, then we can basically just go into that. Now I'm going through all the stuff and I'm looking where the video is dimension, right? So I would search for the video as dimension. It's just so many filters. Filter, elapsed video time. So I'm just scrolling slowly into the top to see the, where the video is dimension. And where I only saw video, like everywhere I see video as a filter. So it means that we need to figure out, right, video reports. I need to get, Now, the only place where I do see videos as a dimension was right here, top videos and a bunch of other things. And all of these things is actually gives us less than 200 results, right? Wow, in 2013 it was only top 10. So that's an improvement, but it only gives you like 200. Aggregated video metrics. Country, province, device type, playlist. Okay. Content owner reports. So that's again video reports. Channel reports. On the reports are only accessible YouTube content partner, super YouTube partner program. Okay, so channel reports. Shoot. So the data model, channel reports, overview, reports, YouTube analytics management, playlists, group. The paper provides 2 resources for creating and managing YouTube analytic groups. So groups and group items. So okay, in terms of group that matches. So what is the group? A group resource presents a YouTube analytics group, which is custom collection of channels, videos, playlists, assets. Okay, all of the items in the group must present the same type of resource. For example, you can create a group of containing 5 videos and 100 playlists. Okay. Got it. So every time when you're creating a video, you need to insert that into this group items or group. So you basically would need to create a group, right? And that would give you a group, but now you have this group. You go with the group item. And you're getting the group item as a channel, you know, asset, video, playlist. Okay. So when I have this item, what can I do with it next? Then you would go in here, and from here you can you have anything like group? Okay, so right. But again, I don't really. Can I have group item? Okay, so what if I go into, for example, okay, so group here. The idea of the YouTube analytical group, you can retrieve this value using group list method and use group filter. Response contains the following Okay, so I guess this is my plan, because I'm not able to figure out things differently. I have an idea, so let's go into here. Would like to create a project. Oh, by the way, we have the new reasoning API. I'd like to create a project which would pull data from YouTube about my videos. Should I store videos in my database and use this to pull data out from YouTube, or is there a better way? So what I'm going with is just like I could use the API. API would be able to pull me the data. Now the problem will be that for this API, I could pull the information what was these, like top 200, like 200 right videos right here, top video optional, but filters, of course I cannot do that. So I could push, you know, like the ID of the video and just basically pull this information out all the time for all the videos, and that would work. The downside of that is just like it would be so much damn requests to do. Like even if the request will be fast and we will be pulling the, you know, the data for each, I don't like that you yeah, this is like really ugly. So that's the problem. Okay, so I understand how the API works. That's an option. That's you know, that's the possibility. That's great. So now let's try to, what is over here? So all right, so we have the bulk reports. Get bulk data reports. Daily API reports and backfill reports are available 60 days. Historical data. Right, so day report type list. System manage reports. Get system manage reports. Videos. Okay, so report ID. Can I somehow use URL? That's cool. Create report. Report type ID. So, okay, so this is what I didn't do, and this is what we're getting back to initial part of using the of using the BigQuery transfer. For the BigQuery transfer, we need to create a report itself, right? So report, YouTube reporting. Let's try that. let's try to create a report. So job create, report get. Now, because our BigQuery stuff, where was it? Nope, 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 this one. So this failed and no reporting jobs found. Please ensure that reporting job exists, right? So we need to create, so we have this one. So now we need to get the job create. And let's open documentation for this. And okay. So what we have here, on behalf of shown standard parameters, upload type, upload protocol. Nope, let's hide standard, I don't care. Request parameter on, okay, now the request body in here. So we want system managed. Okay, so right, so this is the parameters properties. So the ID that YouTube uses to uniquely identify the report job, the value maximum 40 length. Okay, so let's go from the beginning. So let's delete this. So ID would be test, right? Then next is report type. So the report type is the property value corresponding to the ID of the report type retrieved in the report type list. Because I didn't do that, let's open report type list. So the report type list, I mean, I guess let's try it, right? So let's just execute. Oops, right, and right here, just expand. So this is the possible reports types: channel cards, end screens, playlist traffic source, playlist user traffic sources, subtitles, playback, end screens, devices, demographics, combined, annotations, channel basic, so user and send channel cards. Okay, that's it. And the reports themselves. Oh, so this is the reports which I will be. So this is the list of the reports which were generated. Okay, let's get back to. Oops. No, let's get here. So what was this window which I had? Request body reports type. So nope. Let's get back. Sorry for me jumping back and forth. I'm just trying to. Right here. So why did it hide from me? Oh, okay. So you need to have an ID of the report type received from this list. And the report type in here. Now, can you get a different report type? So now, then you have a name that you generate to describe the job, this timestamp when created, expired, and then this value is true, is the generate system managed report. YouTube primarily generates the system managed report for the YouTube content owners who have access to this report that YouTube created. Okay, so if I go here, I go into, and I will be able then to see this report through here. That's really cool. Like in here, there is sort of like advanced mode, I believe, and you should be able to somewhere get into these reports and stuff. Now let's see. Content. Right, so it's not visible in here per se. So you could be able to see in okay, so if I would, let's get back a little bit. So is there a summary? Customization? No, that's the channel customization. That's the content. It's the content. And that's sort of like the information. Traffic source. It's a different traffic source with the channel pages. Okay. Can I create a different report? So can I create type of report that the shop creates? The ID report types. Videos. Daily video metadata, system managed reports, videos. So the reports is complete list of all videos uploaded. Right. So what is the ID of this report? Like overview. Okay, system managed reports. This page lists the system managed reports. YouTube generates for generates for partners. I'm not a partner, so I don't really see this. It generates these reports for any content owner that access the corresponding reports in the reports menu. Studio manager, and then yeah, I don't have any reports for me available, so I don't see them. They're not available in here. Do not anywhere in here. Okay, so this page lists system managed reports for partners. Note that some critical reports are currently available in the API. Each report ID as returned by the report type list method is provided in the report description. All of the system managed reports are currently available monthly reports. Okay. Some reports are customized to include in the fields, aggregated revenue per asset and stuff like that. Stuff, videos uploaded, primetime channels. Okay, so if I go the report types and say like, okay, give me a list and say like, okay, try that and include system managed reports. True, yes, of course. Execute, run. Let's say I want to use this playlist traffic source. Right, okay, so let's go with this one. So if I go into create report and the ID is this one and the name is equal this one and I say execute. Okay, so what are you missing? Invalid argument. Create time. Report type ID. Oh, this is what should be. It should be right here. The ID should be something else, I believe, right? Again, I lost the Okay, so if I say Python create a reporting job, report type, report field, and this report has results either dimension metrics, the channel video. Channel reports, the report type list. This reports that channel owners can retrieve with the YouTube reporting API. Each ID is returned as API report type list. So video user activity. And this is the dimensions. Oh, so I can add red view metrics. User activity by, okay, so again, let's get here, list, execute, channel basic A2, right? So if I go here, channel basic A2, right? Okay, so it's good to have this one. So this is by the province. So this is by just channel basic. I don't know how I missed that. Live on demand, subscription. Playback location, channel traffic. Okay, so I actually want to have this one done, right? So if I go now into here, so that's the one. Now let's say, okay, we want to go and jobs, create job. And so when we, is it in here? Nope. Is it in here? Retrieve credentials, create reporting job, job create, property type. I don't see it. What I'm looking for is these values. Okay, so let's go with this one. Maybe I'm just trying too hard. Let's go here. No, that's maybe not. Let's go into API. Okay, so is there a way for me to get a little bit more information about any of that? Like the report type is this. Execute. Can you execute that for me? No. Invalid argument. ID test. Name test. System managed. False. Execute. Request entity already exist. Test the 2. Request entity already exist. True. Mm-hmm. What if I just remove this one? Okay, where is these fields? I think it was in here. Maybe not. I think it's in the overview, right? Yes. So are these all jobs require all of these required? Let's get a list, for example. I want us to try it. Oh, look, we have a bunch of jobs already available for us. So if I do have this one, why did then this failed, right? Because this should have worked as well. Because it has a bunch of reports available to it. Let's try enable it for the time being, and let's see if it will try running again. Let's try. So it just happened. No, it's happened an hour ago, right? So it's run an hour ago. No reporting jobs. Okay, let's disable that. Oh, system managed. This value is true. Is the job generate system managed reports? YouTube will not generate system managed reports for YouTube content owners who have access to the same reports and cannot modify delete jobs created by these reports. Okay, so got it. I want to keep this page open and we can just go with this one in here. So I want to go with the jobs, create a job, right? Now ID test, then name test, then report type is this, then system manage false. Can I execute this one for my channel? No. Requested entity already exists. Okay, so let's get list, execute once again. Let's take the I want the basic one. Channel basic to a yes. So I'm taking this report and now I'm saying list me reports for this job. Right? 0. That's the overview, that's the list. So there is 0 reports for this job. Okay, reports type. Can I try to get the job ID? Should be able to, right? Just curious what I will get. Yeah, I'm getting the job ID. So what? It was created today. Okay, so list to get, call create, method identify a report that should be generated for the channel content owner. You can substantially use job list. Okay, so I think I get, so I hope I get it, but I think as I said, never use this thing, so it's, so create job to reporting ID, so jobs, reporting job, reporting ID is reporting type, name, that's it. So call the YouTube reporting job create method to create a job, so the job will be created. List types, create reporting job, then outer, and that's it. So okay, so that seems to look easy, right? So I just need to provide reporting type. Oops. This is what was shown, presented in the example, right? So I just need to provide reporting type for the reporting type ID, I can find it, I guess, through here maybe. Yeah. Where all of these reports was. Mm-mm. I'm losing. Where did I see them? Yeah, right here, basic channel. So if I now go into jobs, create, and I just say like, okay, so not AD, not AD, not AD, not AD. I want to have report type. And what I want to have name. At least this was in the example, right? If we run that, requested entity already exists. So the jobs create doesn't work for me because it's already existing, doesn't make any sense. That's sort of the parameter what they do. Okay, so what is this one? YouTube Analytics API data model. So this is what I just looked before. This is sort of like just examples, creating reporting, retrieving the reports. Bulk reports. So this is what is interesting. So they say that I cannot create a report. And also I can't run this one because there is no jobs found, no jobs, not reports, but jobs. Okay, job list. Include system managed, false, execute. Include system managed, true, execute. Channel basic. This is the ID and now false. Channel basic. This is the same, so it's basically they ignored this parameter completely. Okay. YouTube data API. Okay, let's okay. It's getting late a little bit, but let's just get back into YouTube data guides. Yeah, YouTube data API. What's that? YouTube data API overview. Upload videos. Implement guidance. Sorry, with the Python. update, and then we can go video list. We would get part parameter specify, comma separated, list for more videos. ID, for example. Right, so using this, so we can use this to get videos. Right, and so this channel subscription, retrieve current user uploads, search for videos related keywords, upload the video. Channel see videos list. Example, retrieves the information about the specific video. Its ID parameter identifies the video. Okay, so this is just like information about interesting. Can I check any video in this case? I mean, this is for the future, right? So if I go into like YouTube and I open some, I don't know, like random video, this is the video's ID. And now if we go into the API, right, so this is, and now if I specify this as an ID, right, look, wow. This is cool. So if you want to do some sort of like a project related with the YouTube where you would want to pull some information out of YouTube, you could do that. What else can you pull? Snippet, content details, statistics. Nope, not this. Yeah, unknown YouTube part, because I don't know what the YouTube part is. It actually was in the documentation. So if I right here. So topic details, statistics, recording details, player localization, live streaming details. So all of that information in here. Then the video categories. Interesting. But that's not what I'm looking for. It's interesting for other things. Well, not really true, not what I'm looking for. I was looking for a way to get channel videos, right? So channels. What about videos list? But that's table below shows the common use case for this method. No, this is not really what would work for me in my situation. Okay, I think we can start summarization. So what we did today, we went to the BigQuery, we enabled the Google Cloud for ourselves, we created the data transfer, which was very easy to do. And then the data transfer failed, telling that there is no active reporting jobs for the YouTube, so we would actually export that. So we went into looking into documentation about different ways of how we can pull the reporting. So what did found is that there is a YouTube analytics and reporting right here. So we're able to identify the it's a little bit hidden from me. So we're able to identify the targeted queries. I think that would be the name, where we could run any type of the query and extract information. The limitation of that, you need to provide the video ID to be able to pull that. So we could do that, but it's kind of like was required that we would need to do a bunch of requests for each video to pull the statistics. So what we looked into, but it's kind of like we know how to work with that. Now we went into the bulk reports. Here, it's more like what we want to be able to do, but I failed at actually generating a report. Every time I tried to create report, it would fail, telling that like a report cannot be created. So yeah, so that's about it. I think the next time when we'll get back to it, I need to choose one path, which one to go, right? I think I don't know. I need to think about that a little bit. I need to figure out, do I want just to go the API request and, like just basically bombard the Google with a bunch of requests for pulling the data into it? Or do I want to just run the bulk request and sort of like somehow integrate that with the BigQuery? So that's something for me to think about. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. Yeah. And so far, thank you very much. Over and out.